Back in Dallas, time now for Honda starting goaltenders. The battle tonight of two medal winners from the Sochi Olympics. Kari Lehtonen won bronze with Team Finland, allowed 4 goals on 21 shots in his last start against Tampa, a loss on Saturday. Jonas Enroth won silver with Team Sweden. He's won his first 2 starts since the Olympics. Was winless in 14 straight before that. And with Ryan Miller gone, expect Jonas Enroth to get much of the load, although Yaroslav Halak is with the Buffalo Sabres. The question is, for how long? The trade deadline is less than 48 hours away. And there is Halak, who joined the team yesterday. Stars will be on the road during the deadline, as will the Buffalo Sabres, who will travel to Florida after this to play Tampa on Thursday. The puck loose in the Star zone. Matt Moulson works in and fires it wide off the end. Boards a chance in front for Tyler Edmonton. Good pressure now by the Sabres, who have won 3 straight for the first time this season. And the puck loose in front, settled down by Vernon Fiddler. And Fiddler squeezes that by Ennis back down to the Stars line. Christian Ehrhoff across to Mike Weber. Ehrhoff is under contract until 2021, but highly coveted by a number of contending teams at the deadline. Detroit said to be one of the many bidding for his services. Problem for Buffalo, Darryl, is they've already paid the big chunk up front. Now Matt D'Agostini in shoots, left in the save, and the rebound cleared away by the Stars' Jordy Benn, the older brother of Jamie Benn. Picks his way ahead, bumped at the line, and Jamie couldn't knock it out. Tyler Myers steps up for Buffalo. The puck loose in front, squeezed out by Brendan Dillon. Myers swings that rink wide. The pass for Henrik Talinder knocked away, and now Myers goes high off the glass. Knocked down by Jordy Benn, who lifts that down to the Buffalo zone, and the Stars will make a quick change.
Be an interesting matchup if you get Benn straight up against big Tyler Myers throughout this one. They had an epic battle back in their rookie seasons.
Rich Peverley sends it back in front. That goes to the brace. Back to the point. Kevin Pinot with a shot. Tipped right on. Saved by Enroth. And the puck knocked away. Jonas Enroth was a hard-luck goalie for the first 4 months of the season. Winless in 14 straight. The Sabres were held to 1 goal or none in 9 of those 14.
Yeah, it was amazing even just to look at Ryan Miller with 15 wins in behind what was going on in front of him. And Enroth has found the magic here post-Olympics.
Beverly ahead to Cody Eakin across the line now. And Eakin backhands that off the outside of the pipe. And the Stars pick it back up. Here is Cole with it. Slow start to the season for Aaron Cole, who battled neck problems. And now Cole back with it. Jam play at the side of the goal. Enroth knocks it down. The puck loose in the corner for Eakin. And Cody Eakin back to the point for Alex Goligoski. Looks for the bank play off the end boards, but it bounces down to John Scott, who's back in the Buffalo lineup on defense. Knocked down at center ice by Eakin. In across the line. Scott got a piece of him, and a penalty coming now to the Buffalo Sabres. John Scott is going to go off for taking down Eakin at the Buffalo line, and Dallas is going to get an early power play.
Well, the mobility isn't the #1 asset of Big John Scott, and as he was getting beat through the chicken arm at Eakin right at the blue line earlier, like he might have got nailed with a minor in behind their icing line. That little drive-by deflection by Eric Cole with Peverley driving the net. I'm always fascinated by Enroth because he's the smallest goaltender in the NHL at 5'10". Most of the guys are at least 6'2" or over, and yet he doesn't look small in the net. His stance is a big one, and he's really smart.
This power play brought to you by Husqvarna, and the Dallas Stars need the power play to get going. They're 1 for the last 26. Goligoski plays that down to Seguin, across to Benn, back in front. The pass skips away from Tyler Seguin, and now gathers it back up. And his pass fanned on and set down the ice by Ellis. Tyler Seguin acquired that big deal in the offseason, the first trade made by new GM Jim Nill. Seguin's required 25 goals in his first year in Dallas.
Well, he leads them as far as the power play is concerned. He leads them offensively in every regard, but on the power play, it's not just his shot, and he has a wicked one-timer. They'd like to utilize it repeatedly, but when he has the puck and spies others, he has 10 assists on the power play. 8 of those are primaries, so his pass has led to the guy that has scored the goal. Pretty impressive.
It was a huge deal, Darryl. Helped both teams. And Seguin knocks it in.
He's a good fit here in Dallas with these Stars because they're a young, up-and-coming club, whereas they were a veteran, we-want-to-win-it-all team in Boston.
Riley Smith, one of the players who went back the other way from Dallas, having a great year for Boston. And now Ray Whitney, the wizard, works his way across the line. Back for Jamie Benn. Drops it off to Seguin, plays it back to the point for Goligoski. And now Seguin winds around Girgensons. In fires, he ripped that high and wide.
Big screen by Chiasson in front.
Under a minute to go in the power play. Goligoski. Alex Chiasson now back in front. Seguin tees it up. Enroth's got a piece of that bouncing puck in front. Knocked to the corner by Brian Flynn. Back at the point is Seguin again. Great pressure by Dallas on this power play. Back it goes. Seguin. He winds. It goes off the leg of Flynn. And Brian Flynn buried by Seguin. Can't clear it out. Chiasson back to Goligoski. Tees it back up. Walking in. Chiasson with a drive. And Enroth got a block around that. A shooting gallery for Dallas on this power play.
And you can see the fatigue in these penalty killers for Buffalo.
Now Benn around for Goligoski. 20 seconds to go in the power play. Jamie Benn. Back for Ray Whitney. Tees it up. Goligoski fires. And Enroth makes the stop through the traffic. And finally, Buffalo can make a change.
Boy, Girgensons and Flynn were straight-legged late in that penalty kill. They didn't have enough energy to get into some shooting lanes. That's that first bid by Seguin, and a brilliant blocker save. This is a great look from in behind. Screen set up in front. Chiasson is the net front guy. Can't come much closer than Seguin did during that set.
Just 22 years of age is Tyler Seguin. Former second overall pick by the Boston Bruins. And now the Sabres clear it down in the final seconds of the Dallas power play. Dallas got off to a horrible start in the power play at home. Scored just once in the first 37 attempts on home ice. Now Jordie Benn with it. Trying to find Peverley with that pass, and here's Ehrhoff with it. 3 shots on goal for Dallas on that power play, but the game remains scoreless.
Yeah, I think they're getting tired, though, of chances and nothing to show with this power play. It's gone dry, as you mentioned, for a long time for them, and it can be a difference maker. Lindy Ruff thinks it's the key to them getting into the playoffs.
Eric Cole winds his way in, plays it across. Peverley a shot, Enroth the save with a long rebound all the way back to the line, and Drew Stafford gathers it up for Buffalo. Stafford works it and fires, and Lettman makes the save on him. Stafford, whose best friend Ryan Miller was dealt on Friday. Feeds it ahead for Connauton. Kevin Connauton busting in for Dallas. Walks in a backhand shot, goes wide. And a taste of the speed of young Kevin Connauton in his first National Hockey League season.
He might be the best puck mule that they have. Goligoski can do it too. Daly can move from the back end.
Now Fiddler's backhand shot is stopped. Connauton drafted in 2009 by the Vancouver Canucks. Since then, 7 different teams in 5 leagues in 5 years. Vernon Fiddler sends it rink wide, and the pass skipped away from Antoine Roussel. And Roussel bumped in behind the goal. And was played around by Matt D'Agostini. Now sent back in front, the puck back to the line. Ryan Garbutt knocked down by Chris Stewart, and the Sabres are away. In comes Stewart, his Sabres debut, wearing number 80. And for Roussel, who shoots, and that flutters high and wide up over the glass. 13:48 to go in a scoreless first period. You're watching the NHL on NBCSN from Dallas. Back in Dallas, Stars coach Lindy Ruff said, "I spent my life in Buffalo, played for the Sabres for 10 seasons, head coach for 15 more, returned there in October, very emotional. His team got the win 4-3. It says now it seems like a lifetime ago. His focus is on Dallas, and says, Daryl, he feels like he's been here forever."
Yeah, and I asked him this morning, too, whether he still has, emotions and feelings toward the Sabres organization and what's going on there, and he said, "I just can't afford it right now." He's completely divorced of it, although he said when he's done, he'll end up back in Western New York.
And now Seguin from the corner walks in and fires. Another penalty coming to Buffalo as Tyler Seguin trying to move in front.
Boy, it's a good sign for Dallas, bad sign for the Sabres that Tyler Seguin has had the pill a lot here early in this one. Takes this off the boards. One little play beats 2 Sabres. Hodgson on the outside looking in, has to reach out and take the touch foul on him. The Sabres penalty kill is like mid-pack, Gord, which is impressive considering what they have. 2 big pieces no longer there, though. Steve Ott was a great penalty killer, and obviously Miller in net.
This power play brought to you by Husqvarna. Stars had 3 shots on goal on their first man advantage. They're now 1 for the last 27 at the point. Seguin Nifty move at the line, plays it back for Goligoski. Tees it up and shoots, and Enroth makes the save. Jonas Enroth, one of 3 goalies left in the league, who's under 6 feet tall. And Cody McCormick with the puck at center ice just taps that back for Myers. No danger of Myers being under 6 feet. He's 10 years old. Myers at the age of 24, 6'8", 220 pounds.
Came out of the womb that size, didn't he?
In comes Goligoski. Great move. Drops it off for Chiasson. Plays it back to Seguin. Walk in, shoot. And tipped right on goal by Chiasson. And a save made by Enroth. As Alex Chiasson looks skyward, he had a great chance in front.
Boy, the scoring suffering goes on for Alex Chiasson. This is just a fabulous stop by Enroth to hold up. He's got to deal with 3 players: the shooter, Goligoski, the defenseman who'd moved to the front of the net, and ultimately Chiasson in tight. Got the pillows together and stopped that one. Wow.
Now at the line, Sergei Gonchar can't hold it. All the way down to Kari Lepnin.
Shots are 8-2 already in this.
Well, Darryl, fair to say that Dallas came on the wrong end of a game against Tampa in which they really dominated the Lightning.
But they're watching the same movie. Goaltender beating them.
Now, Valeri Nichushkin with it. Lost the puck and fired down the ice by Marcus Foligno. Nichushkin, the 18-year-old first-round pick from last summer's draft. 6'4", 205 pounds, played for the Russians in Sochi, and is an emerging star in the NHL. Nichushkin tangles there with Girgensons, and it's played back down the ice, and Girgensons and Nichushkin still wrestling up the ice. 30 seconds to go in Dallas' second power play. Gonchar with it. He's made his living on the man advantage in the NHL, the oldest defenseman in the league. And Nichushkin sends that high in the air. Nothing's too high for Tyler Myers, but he can't clear it out. Erik Cole back in front to Cody Eakin. Nifty back pass. In comes Gonchar. Shoots, and through the traffic. That appeared to hit someone in front. Now Eakin drives again. Enroth the save. Loose puck in front. And Cole couldn't get a shot away. Now loose in the corner, Girgensons. And Cole banks it back for Gonchar, but he can't hold the line. Hodgson steps out of the box. And the Stars are 0 for 2 on the power play to start the game. 3 shots on that one as well. So 6 shots on the power play for Dallas in the first period. And nothing to show for it so far.
Yeah, firing blanks. You know, the Sabres obviously fortunate that they got through that.
Here's John Scott with it. Stars' last 8 goals have come from 8 different players. Here's Stewart wearing number 80 for Buffalo. Lost the puck at the line. As we mentioned, Stewart making his Sabres debut tonight. It might be his last game with Buffalo. And it's widely believed he might be dealt as well before the deadline.
Be a transient tenure with the Sabres if that's the case.
Roussel drops that back to Finland. Backhands it back in front to the crease. Now Goligoski tees it up. That was blocked by John Scott. And Garbutt takes the return pass, tees it up and fires. He hammered that away wide. All the way up to Trevor Daley. Now Fiddler loses the puck and Cody Hansen plays it back out to center ice.
Boy, they really have the Sabres chasing a lot, and you can see how Buffalo's trying to go about their business, just packing into the middle of the ice, give stuff on the outskirts away,
now
and try to counterpunch.
And Tyler Ennis came streaking in, and Jordy Ben had to knock that away from him. Away comes Ben, gains center ice, and flips that down to the Buffalo zone. 10:20 to go in the opening period. Big wide pass, missed Drew Stafford. And Brendan Dillon plays it ahead for Ray Whitney. In comes Whitney with room, shoots, and Enroth makes another blocker save.
He's patient in there. He's waited on everything. That extra tick.
And now Weber fires that down to the Dallas zone. That's an icing call against the Buffalo Sabres. Let's go inside the glass, presented by Capital One with Darryl Ray.
Well, you mentioned the Stars' power play, and obviously they're getting loads of good opportunities in the early going of this game, but it's turned into a sour spot for them. Can't solve Enroth in the pipes. They've had wonderful looks from distance and in tight. One of the things they wanted to do after having a couple of dry games in a row is get more movement and quicker puck movement to the net. And they've done that. They just haven't been able to put anything in.
Goligoski drops it off for Nichushkin. And Jamie Benn up ahead for Goligoski. Taps it there for Seguin. Back to Goligoski, and Alex Goligoski drops it down to Nichushkin, knocked away from him. And Matt Ellis plays it back out to center ice. Dallas looked like it was sinking in January. 1 win in 11 games, dropped to 10th in the Western Conference, but A pre-Olympic surge continues after Sochi. Now Nichushkin works his way in. Drops it off to Ben. For Seguin. The top line goes to work for Dallas. Tyler Seguin to Jamie Benn. Return pass to Seguin. He was tied up in front. And now Jamie Benn gets it back and shoots. And pinballs off a leg.
Good play by Talinder in front. Get his skates sideways and block that lane.
Shots are 10-2 in favor of Dallas in a scoreless first period. In comes Tyler Myers with time. Myers tried to dangle around Sergei Gonchar. And Gonchar swept that away. Rich Peverley being lined up there by Marcus Foligno, the son of longtime Buffalo captain Mike Foligno. And brought back the other way by the Stars. Peverley drops for Cole. Eric Cole in, shoots. And Enroth gets an arm on that. And Ryan Miller watching somewhere tonight says, I've seen this movie before. As
No doubt.
Enroth is getting buried by pucks here in the first period. Flynn chips that ahead. And Girgensons looking for it. He was Latvia's only NHL player in Sochi. Fired all the way down the ice, and Enroth back to play, but Eric Cole, who still got the good wheels, came streaking in.
I mean, the Sabres have just not had the puck much at all here in the opening half of this first period. A couple of penalty kills dealt some of that, but even when they've been at even strength, it's just chase, chase, chase.
Ryan Garbutt across the line for Dallas, sends that back in front. And here's Roussel with it. Trying to center it back there for Vernon Fiddler. That was knocked away. And the Sabres pick it up as Matt D'Agostini has it out of the bottle up in their own zone. Loose in front. Oh, what a chance. And turned away there was Antoine Roussel. Now Roussel gets it back, but it bounces off his stick. And the Sabres poke it out.
See the quickness in the Dallas game here. They're a really fast club.
And Garbutt chips it at chance for a odd man rush. Now as Fiddler comes in, but Weber steps into him. Mike Weber and Vern Fiddler battle behind the goal, and Christian Ehrhoff has it now for Buffalo. Ehrhoff's first pass knocked down, though it skips away from Hodgson and back down to the Dallas zone. Now a lead pass for Daly. Sabres are changing. Daly in, shoots. Ehrhoff makes the stop. And there's no rebound. Terrific chances for the Dallas Stars. Antoine Roussel, the latest to be turned away. No score in the opening period. Back to Dallas on the NHL and NBCSN after this.
Lindy, when your team is playing well but not scoring with any ease, you tell them what?
Well, I think in a lot of these cases, we need a little bit more traffic. We're going to have to make that goaltender fight to see it. I thought we had some real good looks, but our traffic didn't quite get there.
As far as that team here tonight, they're playing free and easy. That leading up to this one, what did you warn your team about?
Well, again, not to take any shit for granted. That they've got a good rush attack. That coming off some of our chances, they'd be going for it.
Thanks, Lindy.
Thanks.
Cut down the Dallas zone, and back forward is Trevor Daly for Jamie Benn. 2 goals for Team Canada at the Olympics for Jamie Benn. Both were game winners. And Drew Stafford, big hit there from Goligoski. Now Matt Molson loose behind the goal. And back to the point it goes to Tyler Myers. Walks back in front, slides it back. And now Talinder with a long shot that was blocked by Nichushkin.
How about that?
For the 18-year-old.
Yeah, pretty heightened execution defensively by this group too. They've had the bulk of the offensive opportunities in the game, but there's a real prime focus on their defending, obviously.
He knows how to win over a veteran coach.
Yeah,
do it.
No doubt.
Stafford chips it down to the Dallas zone. Nichushkin's ice time was cut back a little bit in December and sometime in January, but he has been a mainstay in the lineup as an 18-year-old for a team in the thick of a playoff race. Pass ahead for Chason, just missed. Enroth knocks it away. That's an icing call against the Dallas Stars. Here's Russ Taylor with an update for us.
In time for our Best Western game break. Already 1-0 Columbus on Toronto in the second. Artem Anisimov off some fine passing makes it 2-0. His 16th of the season. Let's send it back to Dallas.
And Columbus tomorrow night will play host to these Dallas Stars in a crucial battle of teams in the mix for the playoffs that you might not have expected at the start of the year. Although Dallas has been waiting a long time to get back to the postseason. An emotional weekend here when Mike Madonna was honored by the Stars. His number 9 will be raised to the rafters. Bringing back a host of players from the Stanley Cup year here in Big D. Now Matt D'Agostini down low for Buffalo. Being watched there by Gonchar. Slides it back. John Scott misses it. The puck all the way back down to the Buffalo zone.
Utilizing Scott on the blue line here again. Obviously a big frame in that. Had a dangerous-looking rotation going and just died because he couldn't handle it at the point.
Now Flynn drops it off for Foligno with a long shot, and Lettinen makes a stop on that. Loose in behind the goal, and Jordie Benn slides it there for Dillon. Chipped out by Peverley, and Weber has it now for Buffalo. 5:15 to go in the opening period, still waiting for the first goal. And Zemgus Girgensons plays that around. Latvian names usually end with S, first and last, so their coach was Ted Nolans at the Olympics. And now Girgensons trips down Eric Cole, and the Dallas Stars are going to get their third power play of the opening period. Back to Dallas in a moment.
Ted Nolan's players from that Latvian team in the Olympics is in the box. They scared the dickens out of Canada as a country and the team. He told me this morning that he told the team before the game against Canada the story about Ali and the Thrilla in Manila, and that was how they were going to go about their business against them, the old rope-a-dope. And I said, well, how many guys understood that? And he said 2, but then I explained it really well after that.
As long as it's 2 good guys, you're fine. This power play brought to you by Snickers. So Dallas has 6 shots in the power play on 2-man advantages, and now under 5 minutes to go in the third period on the power play for the third time. And Lindy Ruff's right, Daryl. They've got to get this straightened out if they're going to make the playoffs.
Yeah, it's the key.
Now Goligoski with it, lots of good looks. Seguin with a drive. That's tipped high off the glass. Might have hit Mike Weber. And back up to center ice it goes. Seguin right back on the attack. In with Jamie Benn. Seguin walks in and shoots short side. Another blocker saved by Enroth. They might need a new blocker by the end of this game. And now Ray Whitney knocks it down. Back for Goligoski. Walks the line but lost the puck, and Ellis is away for Buffalo. Looks ahead for Stafford that slides down to the Dallas zone.
The augmentation had Ray Whitney out there with that #1 unit that time. And Chiasson again right to the front of the net. See if anybody can take the eyes away from Enroth.
Now Nichushkin comes in. He lost the puck to D'Agostino, knocks it out in a race now as Eric Cole's playing defense for Dallas. Nifty move by D'Agostino. He walks in, hit the goalpost. What a move. Ringing off the goalpost, short-handed. And Eric Cole had to play some D, and he got schooled by Matt D'Agostino.
I've always really liked D'Agostino as a player. He works hard, just seems very honest. Came very close to stunning this building there.
Sean Horkoff plays it down for Nichushkin. 30 seconds to go in the Dallas power play. We're getting a look at some unaccustomed players on the man advantage for the Stars. Jordie Benn on the point, plays it across. He gonna drive, hit the goalpost. At the other end, Eric Cole with a shot. So goalposts at both ends of the ice, 30 seconds apart. And Nichushkin being watched there by Talinder. Bouncing puck in front, they whack away at it. Back to the point it goes to Jordie Benn. Hard pass across in the final seconds of the power play. Tyler Myers hammers it down the ice.
Some frustration on the way off. Big slam of the stick by Val Nichushkin.
So 1 shot on goal on that power play. They're 0 for 3 with 7 shots in the period. Now Buffalo counterattacking. Stafford works it along with Ennis. Drew Stafford flips it across and he scores! What a pass by Drew Stafford. And Tyler Ennis taps it home to give the Sabres the lead.
The Stars began to burp pucks up the ice, and this one turns fatal. Jordie Benn has it come back at him, tries to get in and around at the attack blue line. You're right, this is elevation on the saucer pass and execution in equal measure. Ted Nolan was talking about Ennis coming back into the lineup for them here tonight. Missed the last 2 games. Competitive little guy that just scored a mammoth goal for the Sabres.
15th of the year. He's actually scored in 3 consecutive games and he's been in the lineup. Missed the last 2 to injuries you mentioned.
I wonder if he gave the Sabres the same speech he gave Latvia before the game.
Yeah. How many times can you go to the well with that story?
I don't know.
Start of a long road trip.
Hey, if they haven't heard it before.
Now back in the line. Here's Jim McBain with it. The penalty killer's getting a workout for Buffalo in the first period. As Stewart centers it, D'Agostino got his shot blocked by Fiddler. And away comes Dallas. John Scott plays it across for McBain. Stafford and Molson draw the assist on the goal by Tyler Ennis, his 15th of the year. At 17-17, a 1-0 lead for the Sabres.
Right on the heels of Cody Eakin hitting the pipe on the power play, too.
And now Stewart waits for the line change to be completed. Gains about 100 feet, falls, and throws that away to Tyler Seguin. Nichushkin to Roussel. Anton Roussel throws it on goal, and Enroth kind of waved at it, hit with the tip of his glove. And now loose inside the Buffalo line, played ahead to Ville Leino, who has still not scored this season. Drops it off to Tyler Myers, in shoots, and Lehtinen makes the save on that. NHL revealed a season like no other gives you unprecedented access to the NHL's top stars on and off the ice. From outdoor games through the Olympics, new episode Wednesday, 10:30 p.m. on NBCSN. And what a show that is. And the behind-the-scenes stuff from Sochi is unbelievable.
I watched it after I watched you yesterday, Gord.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, it was a double feature for me on the network.
How was the popcorn?
It was excellent. Boy, what a period, huh? Frustration for the Stars. Their power play continues to come up dry. Sabres being the Sabres. Great net minding, wonderful counterpunching.
We're going to see this down the stretch, though, Daryl. Teams playing with house money are against teams chasing a playoff spot. Yep. It happens every single year.
Nightmare scenario for the clubs trying to get in.
Now, Gonchar feeds in front. Remember a couple of years ago when Dallas went to Minnesota?
Yep.
Needed to win its final game of the season.
82.
And Minnesota out of the playoffs. Knocked Dallas out, cost Coach Mark Crawford his job.
Had half of their minor league team in Houston in the lineup and won it.
Now a lead pass to Ellis at the Dallas line, knocked ahead, and bounces down in front and skipped just wide of the goal as Gonchar actually did that just wide of his own goal. Cole got buried by Ellis, and now Dallas brings it back the other way. Final minute of the opening period. Cody Eakin snapped that pass across, blocked by McCormick. And the bouncing puck goes right back to McCormick. And Daly picks it up for Dallas. Stars coach Lindy Ruff gunning for career win number 600 tonight against his former team. Daly around the boards to Goligoski. Dropped off by Horcoff for Chiasson. Had a great chance earlier in the period. Now Chiasson winds his way in, drops it back in front, takes the return pass and shoots. And Enroth shuts down that sharp angle shot.
He's got patience again, though, by Enroth. He doesn't overbite on the first pass. He's in great position to stop the sharp angle bid by Chiasson. He's been fantastic.
Goligoski looks ahead for Whitney, who kicks it ahead. And a centering pass right in front. Chiasson, a backhand shot. Oh, what a save by Enroth. Right at the horn. He sticks out the right pad and takes another one away from Alex Chiasson, who cannot believe he didn't score in that first period.
It's been puck drop to buzzer larceny from Enroth. Look at the patience. Hang in there, and stone him in tight. What net minding.
He faces 16 shots in the opening period, turns them all away, and the Sabres lead by a score of 1-0 after one. Stay tuned for the Lexus intermission with Russ Thaler, Mike Milbury, and Keith Jones. The Sabres shakeup is a big story over the weekend. And what is Buffalo's future? There's a lot to do before the trade deadline comes on Wednesday. A terrific first period. The Stars had all kinds of chances, but it's the Buffalo Sabres who have the goal and a 1-0 lead after the opening 20 minutes of play. Back here in Dallas with the Sabres leading the Stars 1-0 after the opening period of play. A lot of focus on both these teams with the trade deadline approaching this morning. Stefan Robidas, who turns 37 years of age, today was back on the ice. He was back on November 29th, and Robidas broke his leg against the Chicago Blackhawks. He's hoping to be back in a couple of weeks. Now, you wouldn't think that a guy who hasn't played since late November and who won't play until mid-March would be hot on the trade market. Yet a lot of teams are talking about Robidas. You see James Patrick behind the Dallas defense. Another pretty stout defender in his day. Daryl, there's a market for Stefan Robidas out there.
Well, he's a veteran guy that gives you everything he has every shift, and he'd be like a free agent added to the Stars lineup if he can get himself completely healthy and pain-free before the end of the month.
Now Roussel drops it off for Fiddler loose in front. Ehrhoff took that away. The question for the Stars is, are they buyers or sellers at the deadline?
Jim Nill was saying this morning, their general manager, that they're not going to do anything short-term. If they do make a deal, it'll be for the long-term, not to prop things up this season.
Tyler Ennis wraps that around. It's knocked down by Goligoski. Now Ennis knocks it down. The Buffalo goal scorer, Tyler Ennis. Sharp angle shot off the side of the goal. And now Ennis back on it. Fiddler gathers it up, being watched there by D'Agostini. And Goligoski back with it. 16 shots for Dallas in the first period. Alex Chiasson had 4 of them to lead the way.
I was looking in between periods. The Dallas Stars have registered 50 shots in their last 3 periods. The last 2 against Tampa. Then the opener here, they've scored twice. Frustration perhaps starting to set in a little bit.
On average, Daryl, NHL teams score once every 11 shots.
Well, that's below average then.
Yeah, that would be less. In comes Tyler Seguin, trying to drop it off, sends it back in front. Just missed Jamie Benn with that. Whitney plays it back. Jordy Benn, a drive, scores! Tipped in front, and the Stars have tied it. And that might have been Benn to Benn.
It might have been the brothers involved in this one. Certainly Jamie Benn standing in front, that's him 14, took the eyes away from Enroth. Whether he gets to stick on this and sends it in, or the fact that Jonas Enroth had to look all the way through his body and try to catch up to it. He peers on one side, puck comes the other side. And Ray Whitney out there with Benn and Seguin to start this thing off. I think it just sifted straight through. I know a Benn scored that one.
Yes.
I'll leave it at that.
Well, we know a Jay Benn scored it. We'll have to narrow it down further from there. If it's Jordy's goal, that's his 3rd of the year.
He was the guy that turned the puck over just prior to Tyler Ennis's goal back in the first.
Now Brian Flynn, a shot. Marcus Foligno shoots. He missed a wide open net. Marcus Foligno had Lettinen down and out and wristed it wide.
Like he was getting hampered at least a little bit by Nichushkin. But what a glorious opportunity with a yawning net.
And now Jordy Benn on it, the older of the 2 brothers. We took a much longer route to the NHL. Both the Benns earned their way to the top league. Jamie was a 5th-round pick in 07. Jordy never drafted. As Eric Cole comes busting in. Cole works it back in front, sliding it down. Enroth can't reach it. Here's Nichushkin now. Valeri Nichushkin will be 19 tomorrow. Plays it down to Cody Eakin. Got bumped there by McBain, and John Scott just pounds that puck off the boards and across to Flynn. And Nichushkin steps into him. Here's Scott. Up for Girgensons, who threw it up to center ice, and now Gonchar is chipped by him by Ellis. 17-5, the shots on goal in a 1-1 game, and a loose puck in front. Cody McCormick sends it there, and Alex Chiasson takes that away.
They forced a few turnovers, though, the Sabres, the way they play. I mean, it's fly and go.
Beverly looks ahead for Horkoff, and the play is offside at the Buffalo line, and Marcus Foligno still can't believe he missed.
Yeah, he's pondering that opportunity. There's the turnover around the boards. Watch this. That little touch on the hands, whether it hampered him enough or not, or he just curled his wrist too much and sent it right through the crease and out the other side. He's having to live it again on the big board at center ice here.
Yes, the net was wide open. Yes, you missed.
He was the guy that Ted Nolan, this puck goes up into their bench. Ted Nolan, when I asked him this morning about, who's kind of stepped up or who you leaned on during these rather trying times with the Buffalo Sabres, and he pointed him out, said he's a young guy that told him immediately, we have your back, really the leader of their young core that is intact right now. He can't believe he missed that one.
News broke in the last couple of days that the Sabres did have a contract extension on the table for Ted Nolan, but that initially he turned it down after his good friend Pat LaFontaine left the team yesterday. And so the future of Ted Nolan is very much in doubt as well, not to mention half a dozen players who might be on the trade block.
Tell you what, though, these guys play for him. You can tell. I mean, it's a rally behind their coach.
Always have. Jordy Benn gets credit for the goal on the assist for Ray Whitney. And Jamie Benn, as that long shot is gloved by Enroth. There'll be a face-off in the Buffalo zone. Call Star NHL to download NHL Game Center and get a free premium upgrade only on Verizon. Enjoy exclusives like free live NBC national games. Never be without hockey. 3.5 gone here in the second period. Buffalo and Dallas tied at 1. Of all the changes made in the offseason, Daryl, none better than Dallas's uniform. These things are spectacular.
Yeah, they killed it on that one.
That Dylan long shot goes high and wide. A little reminiscent of the old Hartford uniform, but that victory green is really striking.
It pops.
That's about as much fashion commentaries will make tonight after the pros got their opinions in last night.
We need to roll out a red carpet if I'm going to give you any more of that, Gord.
You look great in your light blue gown.
I appreciate that.
Now Jamie Benn trying to throw that back in front, picked off by Tyler Myers. And D'Agostini snaps that pass through for Stewart. Got away from him, but Chris Stewart first on it, and icing waved off. Stewart sends it back in front. Ray Whitney knocked it away, so Whitney with an assist on that goal. And the veteran just keeps on keeping on. The only original San Jose Shark still left in the league. 41-year-old Ray Whitney. Surprised he still likes the game after that first season in San Jose. Now Foligno ahead for Girgensons. Girgensons throws it back in front, and Jordy Ben picked it up. He throws it blindly in front, and John Scott hammered that puck high.
That forecheck by Foligno forced a turnover. There have been some turnovers for the Stars that have been some forced, others just loose with the puck.
Now Eakin looks ahead for Nichushkin, battling there with Scott, and Enroth will hang on to that. 18-5 now, the shots on goal. Let's go inside the glass presented by Progressive Insurance. Here again is Daryl Rags.
And a chance to talk about net mining. This isn't a tie game right now without the brilliance of Jonas Enroth in the pipes for the Buffalo Sabres. A little fortunate maybe at times in that opening period, but it was public strafing. And he stood tall for the Sabres, giving them the type of net mining they've had during this 3-game winning streak.
Their first 3-game streak of the year.
Yeah. At a very unusual time, huh, Gord?
Yeah, they started with 3 wins in their first 19. That basically knocked them out. Now a chance in front for Cole that bounced away. Remember when Chicago used to do that every year?
Yes.
They'd be out of the playoffs and they'd win like 15 of the last 20. In fact, then GM Dale Talon wanted to go to the dressing room and training camp and say, boys, we're out of it.
What a hit in the corner by Connaughton on Ellis. Wow.
Just hammered him into the sideboards. And now Cole throws it back up to center ice. And we've got a penalty call, a slash, right in front of the Dallas bench. And Cody McCormick is going to go off for the Buffalo Sabres. So the Dallas Stars 0 for 3 on the power play. With 7 shots on goal, we'll get another chance.
Well, I mean, there's no need for that when he's trying to play hard on the puck, but the slash down on the stick, whether it breaks or not, is just too egregious and easy for the officials to spy. They are giving Dallas every opportunity to get out of the funk they're in on their power play.
Ben, Whitney, and Chason up front. Goligoski and Seguin on the back end. And a clean face-off win by Jamie Benn. So clean it got by Seguin and back down to the Stars zone. Sabres just 5 shots on goal, 25 minutes into the game. And Ben's rake wide pass for Chason got spinning at the blue line, and now Girgensons ahead for Flynn. And Flynn a long shot at Lettman juggled that. Knocking to the corner as Jamie Benn has it now. Benn for Goligoski. Up for Tyler Seguin. In comes Seguin, now walks it and shoots, and the save made by Enroth, and there's no rebound.
Well, the Stars able to take the line with ease that time because the Sabres were changing their forwards, but that's one area where the power play had been good in the early going of this, but it started to get stopped up as they enter the zone. Wemby's robo-cam takes a peek from in behind a very busy Enroth here tonight.
Korkhoff feeds it back to Eakin with a shot, and Enroth makes the save, and again, no rebound as the Stars are trying to crash the crease. That was Eric Cole provided the screen on that occasion.
Right, but it's always a timing thing, right? And there's that issue of you're telling guys to go to the net, you're telling others to funnel pucks to the net, but there has to be the proper timing in order to allow the screen to set up before the puck actually gets shot toward the net. They weren't patient enough there, and it was an easy save for Enroth.
Weber taken down by Cole. Sabres thought there should have been a penalty in the play. And now Daly for Eakin. Cody Eakin, the former Washington Capital, came over in the trade that sent Mike Ribeiro to D.C. Takes that pass from Daly. Busting in is Nichushkin. Great wheels for the young Valeri Nichushkin. In the corner, he banks it back for Daly. The pass out of his reach. Nichushkin was the KHL Rookie of the Year last year, and in he comes. Nichushkin sends it back in front. The flex right on goal. Enroth sweeps that away. Horikoff battling for it now. The puck won by Christian Ehrhoff, and he fires it down.
Their penalty killing has been good. I mean, Enroth made some saves, yes, but as a group, it's almost been like a phalanx in front of them. Crowd the middle of the ice, been able to get pucks all the way down repeatedly.
Daly back with it. 25 seconds to go in the Dallas power play. Chiasson plays it back for Whitney. Alex Chiasson knocked down by Talinder, who just squeezed the puck by Whitney and back out to center ice. Now loose puck goes to Jamie Benn. D'Agostini picks it up, gave it away to Benn, sends it back in front. Whitney shoots, saved by Enroth. Goligoski shoots, that's blocked by D'Agostini. Bouncing puck in front. And it trickles wide on the stick of Seguin. Now loose in front is Whitney, shoots again. Oh, and a save by Enroth with the pad. Loose puck again. Enroth scrambling. Benn sends it back in front. Great save by Enroth on Chiasson in tight. And slowly, Jonas Enroth gets to his knees after facing a barrage from Dallas.
He's a puzzle, a riddle, and a mystery to the Dallas Shooters right now. I mean, stuff in tight, things from distance through bodies, good positioning, nice tracking. Gets a little help from the guys in front. All this from our Wendy's RoboCam. You can see how busy and how chaotic things were in and around the Buffalo net.
And the Sabres have called timeout. We think it was Ted Nolan, might have been Jonas Enroth who put the tee down. Wednesday night is rivalry night on NBCSN. Alex Ovechkin leads the Capitals into Philly to face off with Scott Hartnell and the Flyers. It's Wednesday night rivalry. Capitals Flyers coverage begins Wednesday, 6:30 Eastern on NBCSN. And of course, Flyers came back on Washington yesterday. How about 8 games yesterday in the NHL, Daryl? The winning team came from behind in 7 of them.
Yeah, hey, it's not easy to fully protect leads in this league anymore, and maybe a little bit of the fumes of 2 weeks, almost 3 weeks off because of the Olympics. And your overall team game maybe not completely present.
Buffalo got the first goal to this one, Daryl. The Sabres are actually better when they don't score first. They have more wins when the opposition scores first this year.
Like to chase.
It's the rope-a-dope.
It is.
Need more rope this year.
Lots of it.
Now Jordy Benn plays across for Dylan. That shot was blocked. One of the reasons this is less emotional for Lindy Ruff is so few players remain from his time in Buffalo. He left the calendar year ago, but nearly half the team has turned over in that time.
Players, management, you're right.
And now Roussel to move in the line, but the play is called offside. 11:55 to go in the second period. Buffalo and Dallas tied at 1. Miller, traded by the Buffalo Sabres on Friday, has accounted for 248 of their 299 wins since 2006. Look at the save percentage for all the other goaltenders, down around 759. The league average is 910.
Stunning. Say this, though, about the backups. A lot of time they were probably mop-up jobs for Miller, and it can kill statistics. This has been a statistic builder tonight for Enroth, who gets an easy save this time, but not much has been of the simple variety for him. He didn't look fatigued at all during that TV timeout when he came over to the bench, took a little water, and went right back.
Enroth, 25 years old, native of Stockholm, was a second-round pick back in 2006. And now his time appears to have come, although the future of Jaroslav Halak remains a question mark for Buffalo. Jamie Benn throws that across, knocked down by Ville Leino. Chips it ahead, and in comes Chris Stewart. And Stewart battling there with Jordy Benn. Cody Hodgson picks it up, and now Stewart battles for it. At the point, Christian Ehrhoff tees it up, looking for a tip in front. It bounces off the end boards to Hodgson. Hodgson feeds back in front, tipped away by Jamie Benn. And Tyler Seguin's away for Dallas. Takes the return pass and speeds into the Buffalo zone. Drops it off, Ray Whitney reaching for it. And now Seguin winds his way through the offensive zone. Throws that back to the point, but Dillon wasn't there. And Dillon retreats back to the Dallas zone as he's being watched there by Drew Stafford.
Tell you what, that was good work by Weber, the Sabres defenseman, to mark Seguin with that speed early in neutral ice. Little bump, little trade paint, take that speed away.
Lead pass for Stafford, bounces off his stick. The play remains onside as Stafford has it. Stafford down to Tyler Ennis. That bounced away from him. Eric Cole has it. At his pocket pick by Stafford. Throws it back in front to Ennis. Tyler Ennis in, shoots. Lettman makes the save. The rebound cleaned up by Daly. And Myers jumped up to block the passing lane. Now Goligoski has it for Dallas. 24-7, the shots on goal in favor of Dallas. It feels like 24-7 for Jonas Enroth tonight.
Yeah. And this rink has been tilted.
In comes Nichushkin. Fires. He hammered that wide. At the other point, the shot by Connaughton drifts wide. And Gonchar steps up. Tyler Myers with the bouncing puck to Flynn. Can't clear it out. Cody Eakin throws it back. Here's Eric Cole with it. Cole spins around to Linder. And these Sabres have been on the ice for a while as Cole picks it up. Loose behind the Buffalo goal. Eric Cole back in front. Nichushkin fired it wide. Cole back at the point. Here's Gonchar. Feeds across to Connaughton. With time, a wrist shot knocked away by Ennis. Buffalo lobbying for a second time out. Here's Gonchar, fires it wide. And in comes Sean Horcoff. He shoots, blocked in front. Ennis has it. And the Sabres, desperate for a change, bring it ahead. In comes Flynn with it. Waiting for help to arrive. The pass bounces back in front. Marcus Foligno almost got it. And the Sabres finally get fresh legs on the ice with 9 to go in the second period of a very brisk Monday night game here in Dallas.
Got two teams that like to skate. You can see how the Sabres have been aggressive up top at the blue line in their own zone and turning pucks over and trying to counterpunch off the rush that way, but they've spent a lot of time in behind their own blue.
Now plays that. McBain with a long shot. Lettman never saw that as it trickled just wide. McCormick plays it back. In comes Girgensson, shoots. Lettman, another save, rebound. McCormick in front. And finally, Kari Lettman able to jump on that as some pushing and shoving breaks out to the right. Now the Dallas netminder. A few more shots for the Buffalo Sabres, but it has been a barrage by the Dallas Stars. 1-1 the score in the second period of the NHL on NBCSN.
Used your timeout there just moments ago. The message was what?
You'll settle down. I think the gap control here tonight is a little bit. We're giving Dallas a little bit too much respect. We're backing up. They're attacking us too much. So plus that shift, we're out for a long time.
Yeah. What do you do to get a little more puck possession in this game? You're relying heavily on your netminder.
Too much sometimes. So the last couple games, Jonas he's been really good for us. But we got to give him a little bit of help. And the best way to get some zone time is play the game together. Right now, we're spread out too far.
Thanks, Ted.
Thanks, Ted.
And the face-off, one right back down. Another shot by Buffalo on to Kari Lehtinen. By the way, Darryl, it was 139 years ago today that the first hockey game was played at Victoria Arena.
Did you call it?
Yes, and you played very well. According to the Montreal Gazette, the spectators adjourned well satisfied with the evening's entertainment.
Wow. Good note. They wouldn't recognize this game, would they?
No, the Rover. I'm not sure players from 20 years ago would recognize this game. In comes D'Agostini from a sharp angle. Lettman the save. There have been some rebounds off Lettman tonight.
A lot of them. Tough to sit back there and watch the show at the other end and be sharp and clean.
And now the play offside at the Buffalo line. The shot's getting a little closer now, 24-11.
You know,
for Dallas.
That was interesting listening to Ted Nolan there because, you know, that is an asset for the Dallas Stars, their ability to play with pace, especially their forwards. And what happens when you have some guys that maybe are a little overmanned in a game, they have to retreat. They have to respect that speed, and then it just opens up the ice like we're watching here tonight.
It's amazing that Buffalo has been able to maintain focus through what's really been a tumultuous 4 days. Yet Steve Ott and Ryan Miller told moments before the warm-up that they would be not playing that night, and in fact on the move. And in full view of the teammates, they moved out as the Sabres were taking to the ice. Then you had LaFontaine stepping down on Sunday. And you know that in less than 2 days, at least 2 more Buffalo Sabres are likely to be traded.
Goaltending can be the great equalizer, though.
Fired down by Daly. Drew Stafford back for it. And picked up by Henrik Talinder. And the Swedish veteran tied up there by Jamie Benn. Sends it back in front. The pass skipped away from Sagan. Goligoski feeds it back to Tyler Sagan. That misfired. The Sabres are away. Ennis along with Stafford and Molson. In comes the centering pass from Molson. Shoots. Oh, what a blocker. Saved by Lettman. So he's got a few answers to the blocker as well. Now a chance at the side of the goal for Ennis on the feed from Stafford.
That's the umpteenth time, though, where the Stars have bobbled the puck just inside the attack blue line. Sabres have turned it over and gone lickety-split the other direction.
Sagan fires it down. 6:45 to go. The second period of a very fast-paced Monday night game here in Dallas. Ville Leino, 1 shot in his last 5 games. Drops it back, and that puck chipped over the glass and out of play.
Little turnover up by Bolson. We have a couple of Sabres doing that here tonight. It's a nice speed play through neutral ice. Change the point of attack. Little delay by Stafford, who set up a couple of guys in the game. And then Molson, who doesn't miss very often from that spot, especially against this club. 2 goals against the Stars when they met back in October. He scored 4 goals against the Dallas Stars when he was with the Islanders in the game previous.
Pass skipped away from Leino, who signed that 6-year, $27 million contract a couple of years ago. He hasn't scored in 41 games.
That's great. Had those great playoffs with Philly, hey, and then that enticed.
That was center attempt. Dallas had it knocked away. He's only got 28 shots on goal this season.
Amazing.
Now it skips wide of Enroth. That'll be an icing call against Dallas. Gives us a chance to check in with Russ Taylor. And an update.
Here's your Best Western game break from Minnesota. The Flames and Wild and Reto Berra. Too much thinking, not enough doing. Kyle Brodziak takes advantage. For his 5th of the year, it's 1-0 Minnesota in the second.
Sign up at DallasStars.com.
Minnesota holding down the first wild card spot in the Western Conference. Dallas the second.
Boy, a lot of speculation about that being a destination for Jarl Halak.
Well, you know the Wild are in the market for a goaltender as the Sabres ice it. Washington might be another team looking for a goaltender.
Halak still hasn't really joined his new team. He's over in the corner. Not on the bench. There's not a ton of room there. He looked a tad bit frustrated at the skate this morning, too. Some drills and
Not all bad sitting in that corner, I guess.
yes. Yeah. It's a nice view. You don't look at the rink.
Horkoff plays it back to Daly. A long wrist shot tipped in front. Enroth down. Peverly looking for the rebound. And now Foligno bumping there with Daly. Jason tries to play it ahead. And now finally scooped up by the Sabres. In comes Christian Ehrhoff. Ehrhoff flips that ahead for Foligno. And Marcus Foligno plays it around. The pass missed Flynn. And Horkoff settles it down for Dallas. Buffalo's applied more pressure here in the late stages of the second period. Counts now 24-14.
Started to stay out of the box. That helps.
Now Peverly with a turnover in front. Can't get a shot away. Cody Hodgson got it for Buffalo. 3-on-2 for the Sabres. In comes Hodgson. Drops it back for the trailer. Tyler Myers, rather. Myers had that knocked away. Not good to mix up the 2 Tylers. One's 6'8", one's 5'8".
Hey, there's a lot of Tylers and Matts in the game, so
Yes,
you're
there are.
excused.
If you yell Tyler, you'll likely get the puck.
But almost every chance the Sabres have generated in the game has come off a turnover up ice and off the rush with numbers.
And now chipped ahead by Fiddler. Looking for Ryan Garbutt. And centered by Roussel. Fiddler can get a shot away. And Tyler Myers has it back in the corner. Hodgson chips it out. And Brendan Dillon trails back to pick it up. Jordy Benn snaps that pass ahead. In comes Ryan Garbutt. And Mike Weber comes back to take that away from him. The crowd hollering for a penalty. But a great defensive play by Mike Weber to take it away from Ryan Garbutt. And Garbutt pleading his case. The game remains tied at 1 with 4 minutes to go in period number 2 from Dallas. Holding down the 8th and final playoff spot in the Western Conference, the Dallas Stars are locked in a battle with the Buffalo Sabres tied at 1 late in the second period. And Drew Stafford is at the Buffalo goal. Winds it across the line and backhands that down to Matt Moulson. Feeds it down to Tyler Ennis. And now Ennis with some time shoots and goes through a forest of legs and finally pinballs into the corner. Moulson down to Stafford. Drew Stafford throws that back into the corner. Jamie Benn got in the way. Lifts it off the glass and out. And Ray Whitney's got it for Dallas. In with Tyler Seguin. Whitney drops. In comes Goligoski. Feeds across to Whitney. Great save by Enroth as he came across and made the stop. Now Seguin throws it back in front. Goligoski, the defenseman, trapped in deep. Centering pass by Whitney. That deflects wide.
An all-out ambush that time by Dallas and can't get it to go. Nice little pick play by Seguin on his way in.
And here he comes again, and this time he gets picked. And Weber sends it back out to Ellis.
Lindy Ruff is stuck with that switch of Nichushkin and Whitney on the right side of Seguin and Benn.
Sabres gave the Stars a handful in Buffalo in October. Dallas took an early 4-1 lead, but 2 late goals by Buffalo made it a 1-goal game. And Lindy Ruff had to sweat out that win against his former team. Now McCormick sends it back to Leno. That skips away from him and back out to center right.
They had a lot more kids in their lineup back then, too. Things have changed a little bit for the Sabres. They've got a pretty good group of prospects coming.
Oof.
I mean, it's an envious list.
They had 3 at the World Junior Championship in Sweden over Christmas, led by Rasmus Ristolainen, the defenseman who scored the golden goal in overtime for Team Finland. Now a lead pass for Girgensons, who was a draft pick just 2 years ago. Now a jam play at the side of the goal. Foligno can't poke it home, and Eric Cole knocks it away. Nikita Zadorov, a great defenseman for the London Knights of the Ontario Hockey League in Canada. And Mikhail Grigorenko, also playing junior hockey in Canada, are both high draft picks who are expected to be in the Buffalo lineup next year.
Plus they're stockpiling all these draft picks.
Yeah.
They might as well just put their table on the stage in 2015.
Fans, remember that number 9 will be
The latest barrage by the Stars. Seguin takes it in and occupies the defenseman Ehrhoff there. Little rub play that opened up some space. They get the chance off the angle. Goligoski, the defenseman, had jumped up on the rush. Again, very casual excellence out of Ehrhoff to stone Whitney.
Now it's Kalender for Cody Hodgson. That pass broken up by Cody Eakin. And a race for the puck is Tyler Myers, one of the great skating big men of the game, knocked it away. Nichushkin gathers it back up, throws it back in front, and Talinder knocked that away. And Cody Hodgson winds it back for Buffalo. Went across the line, drops it off for D'Agostini with a shot. Hits a leg and goes wide. 80 seconds to go in the second period. Alex Chiasson. He watched there by Hodgson. Knocks that by Talinder. And now Myers has it back for Buffalo.
He is like a big gargantuan pixie, isn't he? The way he can move at that size. Tyler Myers.
Now Sean Horkoff busting in for Dallas. Horkoff sends it back in front. It skips off the skate of Talinder, and Hodgson plays it out. And Myers is gassed out there, trapped, as the Stars bring it across. Horkoff drops for Chiasson. In he comes. Alex Chiasson shoots. He misses short side. Dillon plays it back to Jordy Benn with a shot. Save made with a blocker again of Enroth. He's made a month's worth of blocker saves tonight.
Yes. He puts him in a good spot after he's done, too. He's usually in position to make a second save if he's forced to.
Now Fiddler throws it back in front. The Sabres finally got a change as Daly plays it down to Garvin, who fires it off a leg and wide. Now Fiddler with it. Plays it back to Daly, looking for a lane. Trevor Daly. Long wrist shot, tip on the goalpost. Right back in front of home, and they score! Alex Goligoski. And the Stars finally take the lead.
While multiple shifts where they were just bomb-belating in and around Enroth. I think the original shot from the point goes off the glove of Weber, the defenseman, and fouled up Enroth. Horkoff was in there as well. I mean, it's just a mass of humanity for him to deal with. Nice, patient toss by Horikoff. Watch the clock. Little time, enough time, and a tap-in for the defenseman Goligoski as the Stars got their D activated late in this period.
His first goal in 48 games couldn't have come at a better time for the Dallas Stars to give them a 2-1 lead with seconds remaining in the second period. Stay tuned for the Discover Cards second intermission with Russ Thaler, Mike Milbury, and Keith Jones. Is Jonas Enroth playing like a number one? And more goalie drama in Vancouver after the Heritage game yesterday. Lots of drama still to come here in Dallas. The Stars and the Sabres lock in a good one. It's 2-1 Dallas after 40 minutes of play. Back in Dallas with the Stars leading the Sabres 2-1, and when these two teams come together, you think of Lindy Ruff, who back in October went back to Buffalo for the first time since he was fired as coach of the Sabres back in March. An emotional night for him. A scoreboard tribute brought him to the verge of tears.
Go Nolan in first.
But the most important thing for him was to get the win, which is something he never did as a player against the Sabres. After being traded, he lost all 3 games against his old team and picked up the win. And tonight, with another victory against his old team, Lindy Ruff would get career win number 600, becoming the 12th man to hit that milestone.
I asked him if he remembered his first victory. He said, yeah, it was in St. Louis. They got outshot 44-16. Hasek was marvelous. I was ticked off, and Rob Ray, who does color for them now, came up to him after the game and said, relax, coach. That's how we win here.
That's how we play here.
That's how we win.
And, of course, the man he replaced, Ted Nolan, now behind the Buffalo bench.
That's, what, 3 coaches since John Muckler in 94-95 then?
Essentially, yep.
Yeah. Repeat appearance, but...
So Alex Goligoski got his first goal since November the 1st, late in that second period, as the go-ahead marker for the Stars in a 2-1 lead. Antoine Roussel in behind the Buffalo goal. Shovels that for Fiddler. And Vernon Fiddler looks back to the far point to Trevor Daley. Plays it back for Roussel, who's got some room behind the Buffalo goal. Back to Fiddler. He finds Roussel. The Sabres work the puck in the corner. Finally picked up by Christian Ehrhoff. Plays it off the glass. Squeezes that by Goligoski. And back down the ice. And that'll be an icing call against Buffalo. Download the NBC Sports Live Extra app to watch the game live on your phone or tablet. The NBC Sports Live Extra app on NBCSports.com/liveextra and NHL.com.
Lindy Ruff started the Fiddler line with the icing. Ennis and company have to stay out here. Ruff brings his top line.
And Jamie Benn wins the draw back to Jordy. There's a backhand shot by Ray Whitney, bouncing back in front. And cleared down the ice by Mike Weber. The Sabres try to get off the ice quickly. They do, but off the ice it comes to Whitney. Slap pass in front, deflected right on goal by Seguin. And the save is made by Jonas Enroth.
With facility, I might add.
And now Foligno takes down Ben, and away come the Sabres. Hodgson for Chris Stewart, sends it back in front. Foligno with a shot, Lettman the save. Hodgson sends it back in front, and Lettman slides across to take that away. Seguin trying to lift it out. It was knocked down with a high stick. And play is called in the Dallas zone. Terrific chances at both ends of the ice.
No kidding. Trade rushes. You know, both these coaches urge their players to be creative. Chance on the tail end of things for the Buffalo Sabres. Get that wonderful opportunity in the slot. Earlier, this chasse, if you will, the shot pass. And again, read beautifully by Enroth. Patient, boom.
Stars are approaching 60 attempts on goal when you count missed shots and block shots.
Wish we had that old zone time stat, Gord.
It would be decidedly Dallas. The problem for the Sabres is they're the lowest scoring team in the NHL, the only team in the league that's not averaging 2 goals a game. And now Eakin taken down by Girgensons. But the Stars break it away. Connaughton with it now. As Kevin Connaughton flips that ahead. Buffalo has 16 fewer 5-on-5 goals than any other team in the league. Flynn was taken down. The Sabres have still not had a power play in this game. All 4-man advantages have gone to Dallas. And Nichushkin winds his way in 1-on-4. He whistled that line. And Nichushkin back with it. Works his way back in front of it. Knocked away by Stafford, but it's picked up in the corner by Peverley. And Rich Peverley back with it. To the point he goes to Goligoski with a wrist shot that goes wide. Off the bench comes Alex Chiasson. 5 shots on goal for Chiasson through the first 2 periods. And that's cleared down the ice by Jamie McBain. That's an unforced error against Buffalo. And an icing coming back to the Sabres zone. Well, tomorrow on NBCSN at 7 p.m., the Tampa Bay Lightning and the St. Louis Blues coverage begins with NHL Live. Wednesday, it's rivalry night. The Washington Capitals and Philadelphia Flyers coverage begins with NHL Live. And Thursday at 10 p.m. on NBCSN, the Pittsburgh Penguins and the San Jose Sharks. Download the app or watch live online at NBCSports.com/live extra.
Boy, it's amazing how the Flyers have come back from the dead, huh?
They were done. I mean, they were talking in November about stripping that thing down, trading away their core players. Steve Mason solidifies their goaltending a little bit. Claude Giroux comes back. And now from the point, Trevor Daley with a shot that's kicked away by Enroth.
Stars are starting to win a few more faceoffs here. It's one area where the Sabres have been really good in the game.
Now Chiasson winds in and fires. He put that high. Enroth never saw it with Peverley standing in front.
Peverley and Horkoff. They've heeded Ruff's advice to go to the net.
Ennis for Stafford working in. Here's Drew Stafford. Wraparound try. Left and save. Rebound tapped wide by John Scott, who jumped up. Scott with 1 goal in the last 3 years in the NHL. Matt Moulson back in front for McBain. His shot went wide, hit Ennis. And here's Stafford back with it. Feeds that back to McBain. Has time and shoots. That's tipped high by Moulson. Back in front. Ennis scores! Tyler Ennis on the rebound. And the game is tied at 2.
Well, outside of Enroth, the netminder, the best player for the Sabres tonight has been Tyler Ennis. He's won faceoffs, and he's now tallied both of their goals in the game. Kari Lehtonen got swimming on this a lot. There was some active stuff. He couldn't pick it up initially off the end boards, and this was a juicy rebound off the deflection by Moulson. Horkoff got watching, and Ennis got inside. I don't know that anybody knew where it was for a second. And Ennis had it fall perfectly for him. Just like that, their counterpunch top line gets this game back to level.
In his last 3 games, he has scored 4 times, but he missed the last 2 due to injury.
He's just one of those guys that's competitive in every aspect of the game.
Now Ryan Garbett sends it in front, and Enroth had to steer that away. And back come the Stars now in a 2-2 game. Marcus Foligno chips out ahead to Cody Hodgson. Ahead for Stewart. In comes Chris Stewart. Feeds back in front. Hodgson with a chance and a penalty coming now to the Dallas Stars. Here's Stewart back with it. Hodgson walks in, waits, sends it back in front. Bouncing puck finally touched by Dallas. And with 4 minutes gone in the 3rd period, the Buffalo Sabres will get their first power play as Antoine Roussel goes off.
Got chasing back to their own net. On the way back in, Roussel is usually a very good skater. Couldn't catch up to Hodgson, who made himself available. You can see him with that stick on the backhand, awaiting the pass to come across, feed it in there, get the call, and right after getting this big thing back to level, they get an opportunity and another chance for Ennis, who's been brilliant tonight.
Sabres have won 3 in a row and have scored a power play goal in each of those 3 wins.
Dallas penalty number 21, Antoine Roussel. 2 minutes for hooking.
But the puck controlled by Dallas, and Goligoski has it. Fires that down to the Buffalo zone, and Drew Stafford picks it up. Stafford on the backhand along with Christian Ehrhoff, Hodgson, Ennis, and Matt Moulson up front. And here's Ehrhoff. He can really rip it from the back end.
Can he ever?
Ehrhoff feeds back in front. Ennis, great back pass. Hodgson in, shoots, at the short side pick. It ticks off the post and goes out of play. Cody Hodgson had Kari Lehtonen at his mercy.
It's a little bit like a play in volleyball where the setter's at the net and sends it past the original striker, and it goes to the second guy. You can see it go right through Ennis. Hodgson, nice screen set up by Moulson in front of the net. Lehtonen never got his pupils on this one. Had to look around. Ding. Boy, there've been a few pipes in the game, too. That was nicely set up.
Now Hodgson wins the draw, back to Stafford, who sets it up for Ehrhoff. Christian Ehrhoff to Drew Stafford, shoots, letting him to stop, and this time there's no rebound as Matt Molson was looking for it.
Stafford likes to shoot. I mean, he's not going to pass up too many opportunities to whip the puck toward the net, although a couple of times in the game he's been a tantalizing passer, setting up some teammates. Got a real good shot. Just a nice little drifter. Never ever looked at the net. Trying to get Kari Lehtinen maybe to think pass ahead of it and beat him short side.
Went through a horrific drought to start the season, scored just twice in the first 34 games. He's always been a streaky goal scorer. Comes in now with 6 in his last 10.
Remember that season he had 4 years ago? 31 goals in 62 games.
He had 19 and 20, I think, at one time.
Yeah.
And now Jordy Ben wins the battle for the puck and sends it down to Enroth. He'll have to freeze that, and he gets a snow shower from Ryan Garbett for his trouble.
It's an awkward way to handle a puck from almost 200 feet away.
Yeah, that's not so much his thing, is it?
No. You move it along to somebody with a skinnier stick. Right back to even in this game, though, and you know, a big reason why they've been able to challenge the Stars on home ice here tonight has been his performance.
It's amazing how it's gone the last few years in the game, Daryl. A few years ago, Europeans dominated scoring, and North Americans were the goalies. Now North Americans dominate the scoring, and nearly 2/3 of the starting goalies in the league are European.
Well, you get some of those Scandinavian and European netminders who are superstars in this league, and all the kids back home want to play that position.
Now Myers fires, the save made by Lehtinen. Knocked down by McBain, a bouncing puck. McBain works in. Jamie Benn disrupted that. Jordy Ben gets a stick on Billy Leno, who played just 5 minutes through the first 2 periods of the game. Turned the puck over and sent ahead to Jamie Benn, shorthanded. Scored a beautiful shorthanded goal the other night against Carolina.
He started killing penalties about midway through the season. Lindy Ruff, the slide dog that he is, was getting him a little pre-work for Team Canada.
Yeah, he was on the top penalty killing pair for Team Canada at the Olympics. 2 shots on goal for Buffalo on that power play as Myers sends it back in front. Daly tried to swat it away. And the centering pass from Stewart knocked down by Eakin. Banks it ahead to Garbett. In comes Ryan Garbett with it. Sends it back in front. Just missed Eakin. This has been a wide open Monday night game here. Maybe more than the coach on the Dallas side wants.
But probably expected, right?
In comes Daly, a long wrist shot. That floats wide out the other side. Weber's got it for Buffalo. And he banks it off to glass it out. (29-18), the shots on goal for Dallas. Stars will watch the out-of-town scoreboard at last check. Minnesota and Calgary tied at 1. And there's a puck fired down by the Stars. That'll be an icing call against Dallas. Saturday, the MLS season begins on NBCSN as the reigning MLS Cup champions Sporting Kansas City take on their Western Conference rival Seattle Sounders. Don't miss MLS season kickoff Saturday, 3 Eastern on NBCSN. Hope it warms up in time for that. It was, what, 86 degrees here on the weekend?
Yeah, quite a turnaround in 24 hours.
Yeah. Jamie Benn works back in front. Benn spins and shoots. That's blocked by Ehrhoff.
I think Buffalo was looking for a respite from what they've had to endure this season at home.
Now Sagan sends it across, and Benn powders that puck and hammered it wide. Jordy Benn steps up, and Weber plays it around. If it's cold in Florida when the Sabres go to Tampa and Miami, they'll know there's something up. 26 degrees. We landed here today.
This game is heated up, though. I mean, It's back and forth right now.
Well, you wonder what the Sabres could have done if not for that horrific start to the season. Yeah. Things just blew up on them. You saw how Philadelphia turned it around. Now Dallas has iced the puck again. And this is getting problematic now for the Stars as this line's been trapped out there for a while.
Yeah, face-offs become paramount here now, whether they can secure this and get fresh horses out. Bringing some big bodies right now. Stewart, in his first game with the Sabres, Foligno, another big guy. Hodgson's been good in the game here tonight. See what they can do.
Buffalo winning about 63% of the draws through 2 periods. But this one controlled by Cody Eakin, buys some time and sends it ahead. Eric Cole, the speedster, in on to Linder. What a move by Cole. Jumping back in front, shoots. Enroth saved. Oh, my! What a stop by Enroth on Cody Eakin. Dallas doing everything it can. But the game remains tied at 2 here in period number 3. Oh, my goodness.
You can't get better execution from a face-off in your own zone than Cody Eakin just sported. Wins the draw, springs Cole. The rest was all Eric Cole, who traumatized Linder one-on-one, and then a spiffy save on the tail end of all this work individually by Cole. What a stop.
31-18, the shots on goal in a 2-2 game in the 3rd period. For a team that traded its franchise's all-time leader in goaltending wins on Friday. In comes Nichushkin with a good move, and that's knocked away by Girgensons. Jaroslav Halak's going to sit there and say, I might never get in the net for Buffalo. And actually, he might never get in the net. In comes Connaught with it now. This is the Sabres' last game before the trade deadline.
Another penalty.
Here comes Nichushkin back with it. Penalty coming to Buffalo. Extra skaters on it, Seguin, but Enroth freezes it, and with 11:20 to go in the 3rd period, a penalty coming to Matt D'Agostini will send the Dallas Stars to their 5th power play of the game.
The genesis of this, though, was the turnover up ice by Girgensons, and then forced them to chase a little bit in their own zone. Comes back down. Nichushkin, who could be a real strong puck hog as a teenager, got tripped up down in the corner. Out of that, at some point, the Stars have to feel their power play is going to count for them again. It has been dry for a while.
They're 1 for 30 now. As Seguin sets it up at the point. Sends it back to Jamie Benn. There's the ball from Goligoski, tipped wide by Jason. Goligoski back to Jamie Benn. To Goligoski. In he comes. Sends it back door. Seguin fired it high, and Seguin looks skyward as he missed the net. Tyler Seguin leads Dallas with 6 power play goals on the year.
He likes that spot. I mean, he's down on the left wing side as a right shot, even though he's really shallow. He's so accurate from there, trying to go high short side right by the earlobe of Enroth. Puck jumped up on end. You can see it right there, so it couldn't be accurate. Shanked it up over top.
I mentioned at the start of the broadcast, Gerald, that Dallas started the season 1 for 37 at home on the power play. That was incorrect. 1 for 47 it was actually.
I'm sure they appreciate that, Gord.
We like to be precise here at NBC. And now the puck played back to the line by Goligoski. You look at the players on the ice on this power play, and it just doesn't make sense. Ray Whitney plays it back to Goligoski. Pokes that back to Whitney, centers it for Jamie Benn. Gloves it down, taps it away for Chason. Here's Whitney back with it. At the point, held by Seguin. His pass blocked by Girgensson. The puck rolls to the line, but not out. Jamie Benn. Down to Ray Whitney. Feeds it back to Goligoski. Down to Seguin. Spins back in the corner. Lots of puck movement, not many shots. Goligoski winds his way in. Throws it back across to Seguin. He almost got a tap on that, but it skipped off his stick. Now loose in the corner for Chason.
All perimeter.
Seguin back with it. Ehrhoff bumps him off the puck. Seguin back to Jamie Benn. Slides it across. Whitney in, shoots, and a sprawling Girgenson's got a piece of that to knock it wide. 25 seconds to go in the power play. Jamie Benn across to Whitney. Goligoski, defenseman, standing in the high slot. Benn in, fire, score! Tipped in front by Alex Chason, and the Stars are back in front.
This was an absolute eventuality. Chason had so many good chances. Nice patience. Late in the penalty kill. There were 15 seconds remaining in the minor. They waited for a lane to open up. Some straight-legged Sabres out there, unable to get into a shooting lane. They open up. There's the deflection. Happy all around. A little conclave going on with
now, the officials are talking. I wonder who touched that puck. Was it Weber or Chason? They may review this, and I believe they are going to take a look at this. Alex Chiasson, who's had all kinds of chances, hasn't scored in his last 13 games.
One in his last 32. I think it went off of him. I really do, and the celebration sort of supports that for a guy that's been as dry as he has for a while. So their power play pops through.
Yeah.
Nice interchange between Ben and Goligoski. They run the 1-3-1. They only have one defenseman out there on their power play anyway. And that wicked searing blast from distance got redirected in tight, and the Stars have restored their lead.
10th of the year for Alex Chiasson, who lost 15 pounds over the holidays when he got strep throat. Took a while to put it back on. And he's got the go-ahead goal here in the third period as the Dallas Stars are back in front 3-2 on the Buffalo Sabres.
Another look at that goal for the Stars on the power play. The blast, the redirect. Right after that, during the TV timeout, Ben went over to talk to the two referees and get it straightened out as to who scored the goal.
Knocked down with a high stick off the face-off, so they've given the goal to Jamie Benn, but that'll likely be changed.
That's leadership. I know guys that usually go the other way back in the old days. You're like, you guys might want to look at that again. I think I might have touched it.
Well, before video review, a lot of guys...
No kidding.
5 guys in the ice claiming credit for goals.
There's a lot of jawing going on between Big John Scott and the Stars coaching staff right now.
You know a couple of those guys pretty well.
Yes.
Lindy Ruff and James Patrick. Drew Stafford spins back, fires on goal, an awkward save by Lettman, knocked it back to the corner. And Roussel has it for Dallas, chipped out by Garbutt. And back down to the Buffalo zone.
Well, you have to expect that Stafford's probably going to pump it on net.
Now Matt Moulson has to take it away. Daly back in front for Garbutt. He tipped it on goal, hit the goal post. Ryan Garbutt with a great stick there. And now sent back in front. And that's knocked away by Enroth off the stick of Vern Fiddler. Back and forth they go here in the third period. Here's Garbutt back with it.
Well, one little bobble with a puck and a turnover, and you could see how wide McBain was defensively for the Sabres on that big patchless area of the ice in the slot for Garbutt to walk in and get another just about.
Raymond with a pair of assists in the game, chops that back for Jamie Benn, and the Dallas Stars will regroup as Jordy Benn has it. So 2 goals by Benn have been questioned. One he got, one he'll give back. And now Tyler Seguin brings it in. Seguin walks right back in front, sends it in front for Whitney, he tipped it wide.
Boy, Whitney came really late that time.
And now Stewart comes busting in. Jordy Benn knocks it away.
Been a good move for Lindy Ruff here tonight. Slipping Whitney on this line. He's had a good evening and a productive one.
And Jordy Benn straightened up Chris Stewart right at the Dallas line. Jordy Benn never played college or major junior. Played 4 full years in the BC Junior Tier 2 League. Signs an undrafted free agent. Eric Cole busting in now as a poke checked away by Ehrhoff. And Girgensons brings it in for Dallas as Connaughton stepped into him. 2 Sabres converge there on Eakin. And now McCormick's got his gloves up as he battles down there with Kevin Connaughton. And they'll be separated to the left of Kari Lehtonen. 7:21 to go here in the third period. Russ Taylor with an update for us.
Time for a Best Western game break. We'll take you to St. Paul. 1-1 game in the third between the Flames and the Wild. And Jared Spurgeon breaks the deadlock with his second goal of the season. 2-1 Minnesota in the third period.
So these two teams battle in a 1-goal game. Minnesota in a 1-goal game. And the Wild and Stars are just inches apart in the battle for those 2 final wild card spots in the Western Conference.
Well, it's a crazy race in the West. The Stars like the fact they have their fate in their own hands. They want to take care of these games in hand that they have on the Vancouvers and Phoenix.
It's a big week for Dallas.
Yes.
Columbus tomorrow against Vancouver and against Minnesota. And Columbus in the Minnesota game, of course, the big night for Mike Modano. In comes Fiddler. Drops it back, and a shot taken by Roussel. Deflects wide. Roussel back on it. Now Roussel feeds it back to the point for Connaughton. It went under his stick and back out to center ice. .650 to go. The shots are 33-18 Dallas. Jonas Enroth has kept the Buffalo Sabres in this game.
Well, and this is the line for the Ted Nolan and the Sabres that has done the damage for them offensively, and it's the biggest concern for the Stars here in the final 6.5 minutes.
Now Benn. That's Jamie Benn. In with Ray Whitney. Wraps it around. Ray Whitney racing to it. Talinder steps into him. Seguin. Bumped there by Talinder. They battle in the corner for it. And it's picked out by Molson. Matt Molson threw that to the line, but not out. Seguin back with it. Walks right back in. Tyler Seguin waiting for help. Throws it back in front. Whitney. Bides his time, elects not to shoot. Now feeds rink wide. Daly with a drive, and Enroth makes the save on that.
Boy, a lot of time to dust pucks off, though. The Sabres with no pursuit game in their own zone. I think a little fatigued late in the shift. They're backed off. Both Seguin and Whitney were able to wait and spy mates. Finally, Enroth with an ender to get some fresh legs in front of him.
And now Aiken steps in for the draw. And it'll be Stewart, who wears number 80 here in Buffalo for now. Drop back at the point. Here's Dillon. Lays it across on the shot. Powdered wide by Aiken. Jordy Benn down for Nichushkin. And Nichushkin centers it right on goal. And Enroth had to be quick with that. Now Nichushkin knocks it down again. Loose in the corner. Valeri Nichushkin walks back in front. Poke check by Enroth. Here's Cole back with it. Nichushkin got buried in front by Scott. Surprise, surprise. And now Cole back with it. Winds his way through the traffic. Eric Cole throws it back in the corner for Eakin. And Cody Eakin trying to center it. Scott stepped into him and just threw down Eakin.
Rough couple of shifts for Cody Eakin. He got avalanched by two Sabres at the other end his last shift.
And now Cody Hodgson knocks it down. He got spun around. Lettinen plays it to the line, but not out. And now this thing settles into a siege with 5 to go in the third period. Christian Ehrhoff winds his way in across the line as Ehrhoff fires it right on goal. Lettinen drops it down right to Ehrhoff. And Ehrhoff loose in the corner with it. Bumped there by Sean Horkoff and played out for Beverly. Rich Peverly now. Drops it back in front. Chason drops it down for Horkoff with a shot. Enroth with a save as Weber got a piece of that. And now Flynn's back the other way. 2-on-1 for Buffalo with McCormick. Brian Flynn in, walks in front, shoots, Lettinen the save, and rebound down to the corner.
What a move by Flynn.
Now sit back in front, and a drive right out by Girgensson. Save made by Lettinen with a mass, and the Sabres clear it down. It'll be an icing call against the Dallas Stars. Kari Lettinen using everything to keep that out.
This is a gas, this one right now. Yeah, Lettinen just threw his head toward this one to keep it out on the tail end of another up and down trade chances sequence between these two clubs. Puck in front, he's down guarding low, takes it in the clavicle, showed a quick clavicle on that one.
And now Dallas will call timeout with 4:25 to go after the icing call.
That chance for Horkoff at the other end, another dandy stop by Enroth. Both coaches have extinguished their timeouts in the game now.
After icings, it gives us time to tell you to download the NBC Sports Live Extra app to watch the game live on your phone or tablet. The NBC Sports Live Extra app on NBCSports.com/Live Extra and NHL.com. However, and wherever you're tuning in tonight, hope you're enjoying what's been a terrific Monday night battle between the Buffalo Sabres, who are never dull. Say this about them: they have not been uninteresting this season.
No kidding.
And more to come. The NHL trade deadline coming up at 3 p.m. Eastern time on Wednesday.
What do you think? A lot of deals or not?
Yeah, tons. I think big names are going to move this year. The cap is going to go up a lot this summer. Lots of teams. We have lots of room for players who are currently under contract with more to come. Here's Tyler Myers now. Poke check there by Peverly. In the past, guys whose deals were up were coveted. Now it's guys who have long deals left.
We want the money.
Yeah, please. Here's Molson with it. He'll be a prime target on Wednesday, if not before. Stafford. Down for Ennis. Chopped away from him. Gonchar with it now. Stars are hemmed in a bit. Gonchar goes off the glass, but not out. Molson keeps it alive. Out for Stafford. And Gonchar finally closed on that. And to the line, but not out. Knocked down by Tyler Myers, the big wingspan. Molson down to Ennis with a pass. Bouncing back in front. And finally, Garbutt settles things down for Dallas. The Stars are desperate for a change. They'll finally start it. Garbutt looks ahead. He's got Fiddler. In comes Vern Fiddler. Shoots. Enroth fought off that awkward shot. Fiddler broke his stick. It was a knuckle shot down to Enroth, and he managed to fight it off. 3:25 to go in the third period. Dallas up by 1. Vern Fiddler's stick betrays him at the worst possible time. 3-2 the score here in Dallas. And Alex Chiasson has been credited with the go-ahead goal for the Stars.
TV never lies.
Nor do team captains.
Good point.
Goal scorers to change the goal. Here's Marcus Foligno now with him for Buffalo. Banks it back to Christian Ehrhoff. Ehrhoff along wrist shot tipped wide by Stewart.
Man, it's just a fog of humanity when those pucks get at the point like that. Bodies from your own team, the other team. Goalies have to try to find it through that. Wow.
Eakin drops it back for Cole, who plays that down to the Buffalo zone, and McBain has it. And Ehrhoff snaps that pass ahead for Hodson. Missed everybody. But icing waved off as Jordy Ben goes back, turns it over at the line of McBain. Now back in front of Foligno with time. Shoots, Wetman save, rebound, poke back in front. Cody Eakin down to the slot as Dallas brings it back 2-on-1. Lead pass for Cole, in shoot. And Enroth got just enough of that to knock it wide.
He got 87% of it.
If he got 86, it's 4-2.
Yeah, I agree.
Stewart up for Ennis. And we got too many men on the ice being called now against the Sabres with 2:20 to go in the third period.
That chance down at the other end. Kari Lehtinen, another similar to the save Enroth made just prior to the commercial break. Stars on the trot, on the rush. Another chance for Cole. You could, from my vantage point, you could see it going under the armpit and just dusted the outside of the post.
So the Sabres are arguing the too many men on the ice call.
Well, there was shenanigans behind the play with Eakin, who has been physically abused as this game has gone along for the Stars. And as it came back up, they were trying to get an awkward change, and here comes Eakin back after that. Buffalo native Dave Zeisen behind him, the Stars medical trainer. Yeah, look at this one. The follow through of the shot is what caught him.
Now, under NHL rules,
that's not a penalty.
A shot or a face-off is not a penalty, so Eakin takes one in the face, but the Stars do get a power play off the too many men on the ice call, and just now the Sabres have sent D'Agostini to the box as the Sabre bench is jawing at officials Chris Rooney and Ian Walsh.
They are not thrilled with that. I think Shane Heyer, the linesman, was the guy who actually called it.
Face-off, one back to the line to Trevor Daley. Plays it across to Jamie Benn. Feeds back in front, kicked away by Tyler Ennis, and now Goligoski throws it back down for Seguin. His pass knocked down by Talinder, and here come the Sabres. Look at them go. 4 wide. Stafford sends it rink wide for Myers. And Tyler Myers steps around Seguin. Myers loose down low for Ennis. Blocks back in front, shoots, and Lehtinen makes the save on the short-handed bid by Tyler Ennis for a hat trick.
Puck's following him. I love the way the Sabres have gone about their business, though. Whenever there's been a bobbled puck, they go on the attack, whether they're short-handed or at even strength. It's when a fade away on the tail end of that and some frustration on Ennis, who's been fabulous tonight for them.
5 shots by Ennis tonight, a pair of goals. And Jordy Ben to Ray Whitney, who's having another renaissance evening for the Dallas Stars. You don't call him the Wizard for nothing. Now Girgensons throws that ahead. He was taken down in center ice. And Brian Flynn, the speedster's on it. Jordy Ben settles things down for Dallas. 90 seconds to go in the third period. Eric Cole works it in, bouncing puck in front, and Enroth will freeze that with Jordy Ben looking for a rebound.
Yeah, this ice is pretty chewed up right now. Late in the third period, you can see that puck bobble on Cole as he was trying to come in under control. No excuses with the weather, though, this time. Sometimes in the south, huh? A little humidity and some temperatures outside, but it's easily warmer in the building than it is in Big D tonight.
I'm a little disappointed, Daryl. I got to be telling you, when I came down to Dallas, I was not prepared for this.
T-shirt and shorts?
Almost. Here's Daly with a drive. Enroth save. He juggles that and hangs on. A pretty nasty ice storm last night, though, in Dallas. Snarled traffic, and some schools were closed today, right?
Most of them were, yes. They're not really prepared for ice and snow and sub-zero in this neck of the nape. Thunder sleet, they called it at times yesterday.
I'm not sure what that is, but it sounds really
yes,
bad.
Yes, it does.
Here's Jamie Benn, works across the top. Benn back with it for Goligoski. Alice Goligoski back for Benn. Swings it rink wide to Daly. Lots of traffic in front. Daly with time feeds back to Goligoski. Benn has drifted back. He's got the puck at the point. Final minute now of the third period. Benn drops it back to Goligoski. 35 seconds left in the power play. Jason back with it. Banks it back to Jamie Benn. Rossi goes to Goligoski. Benn with it.
This is four corners.
D'Agostino, the man in the box for Buffalo. Long shot taken by Goligoski. Steered away by Enroth. 20 seconds to go in the power play. And here's McBean with it. Feeds that back to center ice. Final seconds now in the power play. Here comes Seguin with it. Tyler Seguin feeds back in front. Oh, what a stop by Enroth on chase side. 39th shot of the game for the Dallas Stars. Now in the dying seconds, in they come. Tyler Ennis, D'Agostino steps out. The teams are back to 5-on-5. Enroth goes to the Buffalo bench. Hodgson keeps it alive for Stafford. Trying to throw it back in. Garvin sends it ahead, trying to find Roussel. Icing way down. Final seconds now. Roussel throws it back in front. Garvin stopped by Stafford. What a save. Drew Stafford on a great night of goaltending turns in a great stop of his own. But the Dallas Stars get the win, and Lindy Ruff has career win number 600. And he does it against his former team, but more importantly, the Dallas Stars strengthen their grip on the final playoff spot in the Western Conference with a hard-fought 3-2 win over the Buffalo Sabres. What a night at Big D. Final score, Dallas 3, Buffalo 2. Let's now send it to Russ Taylor, our studio, for NHL Overtime, presented by Bud Light.